Remember that they're changing my voice. For those of you who are confused about romantic justice, why don't you ask yourselves, does it have to be this obvious as this caveman here, and this picture here with the caveman and the female that he's knocked out, before you realize that people are fucking with their heads and it's determining their behavior? Okay? And how long has it been since the majority of the most ambitious criminals and rapists have resorted to that tactic? When do they shift over to working the corporate angles, right? Corporation, meaning coming from the word corpus, as the root word of corporation, corpus. Well, here's somebody who seems to agree with me. Corporate sluts, right? They look like your average corporate chick in that thing, right? The cult of the flesh, Satan in heels, okay? Sexually provocative positions. Now, for corporate females. Now, look at here over here where you see the evolution of females according to the person who made this. As it goes to the right, they're reading the Bible, and it changes the way they dress and the way they think. Again, government, meant meaning mind, white establishment, meant meaning mind, settlement, right? Settlers, right? Colonial settlements, meant meaning mind, right? To settle down, to settle for somebody, what have you. Look at these females' behavior. Okay. Now let's go to some of the other pictures. But first, let's look at what slave masters are depicted like. Here we see this female who is dressed in a way that's similar to Princess Leia, right? Princess Leia over here, that female over there, and it's a slave trade picture. Notice it's like a black guy or someone who looks blackish selling her to a white guy or something. Okay? And notice how they're dressed. Now here we see over this, it says, which seductress are you? And over here, seductress and assassin, right? And she looks similar, nearly identical to these other females. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's go through the, when I made this picture, I made it in order. So first, they catch you in the net, right? First, they catch you one way or another. Historically, they caught your ancestors, what have you. Second, they had some kind of slave trade activity going on. Behind the scenes, human trafficking, otherwise. Third, okay, and of course the raping occurs at various points. There's a lot of rape, right? Third thing to think about, if nothing else. Fourth, you get reinvented, right? They get desensitized to giving up their body to survive because it's required of them, what have you. Fifth, they become more and more of a seductress. They're willing to kill for the system. By the time they get old, become an old, evil person because they didn't kill themselves, they didn't escape, so the process made them evil. Now let's look at another process here. Look at Jabba the Hutt. Jabba the Hutt is symbolic of a phallic symbol, a penis symbol. He's a slimy penis, okay? Now look at how he is similar, okay, to this slave master right here. He's even wearing green, right? The guy's sitting down. Really, the guy's standing up too. Think about them having a green, slimy devil spirit, okay? Now look at over here with this slave master. See how he looks like his head looks like a dickhead, right? He's like a slimy devil idiot, okay? Now look at this guy over here. He's Jabba the Hutt-like. He's a fat, evil slave master, human trafficking, some kind of Asian woman. Pretty straightforward. Okay. Now when we look at this ISIS, the ISIS cult of Rome. Look at her face. It's like desensitized to the various activities of the world, and so it is here on this Wikipedia clip, talking about. Okay, so now here we see. During World War II, they were measuring things. These Nazis were measuring things to understand races and for sexual control, for breeding. Here we see a bunch of females who, of their own free will, dressed up like Princess Leia and posed by Jabba the Hutt. Even though Jabba the Hutt is a symbol of rapists, right? It's a symbol of a penis, the suppression of females. And they think it's cute to dress like Princess Leia. Okay, Lay Alpha. Their alpha is a slimy slave trading devil. Okay. All right. Now let's look over here. Right. This is by Stacy Schroeder. I assume she's some kind of female. Right. I'm assuming it's a natural female. And it says right here that the definitive basic bitch handbook. And look at the look in her eyes. Right. She looks basic. Right. Simple. This chick over here. Right. Health and wellness. Right. Simple-minded. Here over here we have Psyche, where we get psychology, and she's being turned out by Pan. And we say, how do you know? Well, I'm very familiar with the story. I've read it many times. The certain versions, I've examined them many times and looked deeply in it. You might read every version and not looking deeply into it and miss what it's actually about. Here we have Pan setting up another female to get raped, so that's his definitively his character. His name means all for all the Greco-Roman deities. Here we have the rape of the Sabines. So Jupiter is an expression of Pan and vice versa, right? Because Pan names means all, pandemic, the pantheon. He encompasses the characteristics of all Greco-Roman deities. His purpose is to rape and to trick. So that rape part devil, that, you know, he's a rape cult devil, and he uses psychology, right? His consort is Psyche, or he tricks Psyche into being raped. And Eros is also considered her consort. Her male consort, her male, boyfriend, lover, husband, what have you. And his name is where we get the word erotic desire. So psychology and erotic desire. You see how this is all coming together. By now you should know where I'm going with it, or you're not that smart. But that's okay. If you're not that smart, watch this video several times. You'll see why I'm right. Okay. Now here we have the Olsen twins. Look at the look in their eyes. Here we have a Lilith book. Look at the look in her eyes. Okay. Here we have some kind of new age chick that should represent it. Look at the look in her eyes in the picture, in the animation. Animus meaning spirit. Another Greek word. Okay. Animus. Okay. So Eros, where we get erotic desire. Psyche, where we get psychology. Animus, where we get animation, meaning soul, spirit, what have you. Pretty straightforward. And look at these pictures I just printed out not too long ago. It says stylish and elegant women dresses. I printed out today, 12/23/22. I just added that to it. See, this was uploaded 9 hours ago. Only has 63 views from Celebrity Fashion. Look at the looks in their eyes. Also, look at how they're similar to each other. These people are what the skinhead would call a crypto Jew. Are they right? Crypto Jews, are they right or not? Well, they're crypto something. They're crypto Greek, they're crypto Roman, they're crypto something. They certainly resemble Psyche over here. They certainly resemble a lot of these females, or Princess Leia, so on and so forth. They certainly resemble a lot of people. Okay, so they're something like that, right? They're like nearly identical. Do they have Negroid noses? No. Do they have similar noses? Yes. They have similar structure of the face? Yes. And that goes back to why, these Nazis were measuring the faces and the foreheads, because that tells you something about gene expression, and it can tell us to some degree who's related to who, and so on and so forth. Pretty straightforward, right? So when we see these females who look clueless, it's even called clueless. Alicia Silverstone, they look clueless, right? Celebrity fashion. These females look clueless. They look like they're in some kind of trance. I'm sure if you weren't born yesterday, there's a bunch of new age people out there who want people in some kind of trance-like state so they can take advantage of them. People basically accept now, beyond any doubt, that the New World Order is true. So you see this guy right here, this is a picture of me that they edited to some degree, but it looks similar to how I look now. You can tell I look like a really, really good person. Okay? Very concerned with what's going on. It's not a coincidence. The general rule of thumb, generally speaking, mind you, and they have all kinds of cute tricks to confuse us, is that how you look is what you are. This guy looks like some kind of arrogant homosexual in a social club. Newsflash is what he is. Looks like some arrogant, gay, groomed, kind of choir boy turned arrogant, possessive social club celebrity guy. That's basically what he is. Okay? These people look like satanic yuppies. That's basically what they are. Okay? This chick looks like some kind of model or something. That's what she is. Okay, general rule of thumb. These chicks look like whatever they are. That's who they are. That chick looks like a ditzy bimbo. That's why that tag there is there saying ditzy bimbo. Now, these people look like, these military guys, look like they worship the devil. Bear with me. Here we have Baal as depicted as very similar to these guys. See that kind of craftsman kind of shape of his body? It's kind of, it's like the military shape. It's a craftsman. He's hammering things in, right? It's the hammer movement of the muscles. Here we have a female who looks like a lot of females you might have seen, kind of gnome-looking females. There's a lot of them out there, Hispanics, Jews, what have you. Okay, that kind of look right there. That's fine. It's another depiction of Baal. Here we have another depiction of Baal who looks like kind of like a Jewish, those Jews who look kind of like elves or something. And what do I have? Kind of somewhat similar to her, Let's see here. Somewhere I have some good examples of them. I mean, somewhat similar to her right there, but, that's a male version of it. Okay. Okay, now look at them compared to these guys. Now, first, before, and get a good look at, now look over here, right? Look at this depiction of Baal. Look at this depiction of Baal. Look at this depiction. You see what they have in common? That kind of essence, their spirit, animus, animation. The spirit of Baal is serious and unfair. okay, and kind of self-absorbed, kind of almost psycho, right? It's dark. There's a darkness to the picture, and so it is with these military guys. One's white, one's black, from what I can gather, what I gather, and they have a certain darkness to them, right? They're left, right, left. They're in a uniformity in the spirit of Baal, okay, whose name is A Lab Scrambled and B Alpha Lay. Also, we look at barium and aluminum. Okay, a cute little fact. You can put them together, you get Baal. And some people are talking about chemtrails. I don't know what chemicals are in those chemtrails, but I think that's interesting. They might be onto something. I don't know. All right. Now let's go over here. Okay. We see me, and you see I'm depicted with this falcon over me, right there, right? Okay. And it says focus, right? Outmaneuver, okay? And I bring up that the frontal lobe has the motor cortex, which is responsible for movements as well. Excuse me, as is the cerebellum, which is in the back of the brain. The frontal lobe is the part of the brain that controls important cognitive skills in humans, such as emotional expression, problem solving, memory, language, judgment, and sexual behaviors. So my argument I'm making here is that she lacks good judgment because she's struggling, okay, with swinging the bat. Okay, so the part of the brain that is responsible for movements, okay, the frontal lobe has the motor cortex, also is responsible for emotional expression, problem solving, memory, language, judgment, and sexual behaviors. And this has to do with the martial art argument of mind, body, soul, and spirit, right? Mind, body, soul, and spirit, right? This chick, for example, probably doesn't have great judgment. Her movements aren't that great. She's just flexible, okay? You can see in this picture, you can tell I'm pretty much the master of mind, body, soul, and spirit. And they've done things to make my life harder. And it even comes out in my gi here where it's a little bit wrinkled because they made my life harder. Made it harder for me to iron my clothes, to find clothes that fit. It's a story for another day. They didn't make it hard for the Klan here, did they? No. Okay? And that's a story for another day. Almost out of time here. So, just a quick review. Okay? Basically, there's a bunch of slave master looking scum who look like slave masters on the inside. Okay? And they look similar to these pictures and ideas, okay? And there's some of them are allowed to, I'm not saying that that's what this guy is, I'm not saying it's not what he is. Some are allowed to look good. When I was a little kid, when I was 15, I was more mature than these people are, and I am very smart, okay? Women are being turned out, and it doesn't have to be, they don't have to be hit over the head and put into that state of mind where like, duh, she's not dead, but she's semi-conscious, right? There's degrees of consciousness, there's degrees of understanding, there's degrees of awareness, and it affects the frontal lobe and the other parts of the brain that have to do with judgment, emotions, sexual behavior, movements. Notice that these females also do not have master martial art movements, and they're dumb enough to be some kind of elegant woman slut, right? Stylish, elegant woman slut by their presentation. They're presenting themselves like they're the New World Order's elegant sluts, right? We can pretty much all agree on that if we're being honest here. Obviously, I'm honest in my videos and so on and so forth. Here over here, we have Sleeping with the Devil. Okay, well, I'm probably out of time. I had to put it in 2 clips. I don't know if I'm out of time or not, so I'm just going to end it here. To make a long story short, I've definitively proven in this video to anyone with any fucking sense that I'm being treated unfairly by society and women, and they're under some kind of extreme social control. And it is the white Jew and LGBT community doing it, right? Hollywood, LGBT people, right? LGBT kind of new age cults, kind of rainbow stuff, kind of Olsen's, kind of Lilith feminist, okay? It's white Jew and LGBT social clubs, corporate groups, Hollywood groups, political groups. They're the main ones doing it, right? Greek hero cults. Why does he look like some kind of LGBT person, right? Dumb and Dumber, right? Revenge of the Nerds. Why is this happening? They also do things in a way to make it so that my explanation is hindered. But everyone knows what the fuck I'm saying, and they're playing stupid. Here's another example of a slave master. He's like a greasy, slimy scoundrel, right? Well, I'm out of time, but you should know what I mean. You should know that I'm right by now. Thank you.